slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness, hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior, inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior, get off of me, this ain't no humble brag, I want you to hear words, you can say them back, I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through.
Thank y'all for tuning back in to your favorite channel, Pelican Big Dog, talking news for the day, giving it to you like I always do, my brothers and sisters. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Some brothers gonna like it, some ain't. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't forget to hit that like button as well and drop down in the comments like your brothers and sisters always do. Big salute to all the dog lovers. Like I always say, from one side of the world to the other side of the world. We're gonna get into this dog talk for the night. Big salute and big shout out to all the brothers down in the chat. You know, big salute to Alberto, been rocking with me before, probably about 30 minutes before the video even started out. Big salute to your brother Vasquez. City Boy Kennels in the house. Salute to your fam, Vernon Starr. Yes, sir. Mad Doctor. Salute to you, Mad Doctor. Salute to you. Let's see here. Freddie Gray. Salute to you, Freddie Gray. Fred Gray, you know what I'm talking about. Salute to you, fam. Salute everybody, man, from one side to the other. Like I say, in the folk that's watching this video that's not in the chat. You know, we're gonna talk about that Crossroad and that Big John stuff and different things, but we're gonna get into some more talk a little bit first, you know. And a big salute and big shout out and big thanks to Legion Fury for the Cash App donation. My brother, big salute to you. Salute to the whole South Carolina, man. All the Carolinas, you know, the whole, like all 51 states. I gotta say it again, man. But you know, let's get into this dog talk, man. And I'm gonna drop the link as well if any brothers wanna get up there and talk some talk. You know what I'm saying? Get up there and talk some talk. I had one brother I seen asked on Facebook, so I had to drop this on the video as well. He said, why is the Hammond's blood so popular overseas and not in the United States? Now, what y'all think the Hammond's blood is so popular overseas and not in the United States? And that's gonna probably be with a lot of bloodlines, man. You know, over here in the US, we got this popularity thing going on with a lot of these bloods. Some of these bloods aren't even as good as we claim them to be, but it's a popularity thing when it comes to bloods. You know what I'm saying? When you hear one dog jumping off, or like they hear the ship dog jumping, everybody want to get the ship stuff. You know, it's a popularity thing over here. It's not even, you know, it's a little bit different, man. So one brother might have a great dog that's producing great dogs off the Hammond stuff, but because the Hammond stuff is not the most popular dogs, out right now, a brother may overlook it. You can have that a litter of ace puppies. You don't know the aces right now, but they gonna be future aces, the whole litter. And when you start showing brothers your pedigrees on online, on Facebook and stuff, and dropping the peds and doing different things, some of them gonna like it, but then the rest of them, they looking for this, they looking for that. So overseas, maybe the Hammond's dogs got put in the right hands, and they just like it. And the thing is, what country overseas? Overseas is a lot of places overseas. Is it Europe? Is it Asia? Is it Africa? Where overseas is the Hammond's blood more popular, than over here? Mexico, and if it's so popular, where's the dog that's creating this popularity? Where the dog at? Because if it's that popular, where's the Hammond's dog overseas that we haven't heard about yet? Unless they talking about the Boogie Boy dog. I want to say he got some Hammond stuff. I'm not sure. But other than that, I'm not sure. Maybe some other brothers know some dogs that everybody know the names, popular dogs that's coming down off the Hammond stuff. Me myself, I don't know if it's not the Boogie Boy dog. I think he may have some in it. Mr. 216, what's going on with you? Salute to you, fam. Appreciate you dropping in today. Appreciate everybody for dropping in today. We're gonna touch on some subjects. DK9, what's going on? What's going on with you? Yes, sir. We're gonna touch on some subjects. Man, salute to them pocket watchers out there. Them brothers who, the thing about the YouTube channels, you just gotta go, man. You just gotta go. You can't worry about and look at the next person's channel and what they doing and what they accumulating and what they ain't accumulating. You just gotta go and do for what you do. If I look at what these brothers' channels who got so and so and 2 or 3 and 4, 500,000, and every day I try to base what I'm doing, I'm gonna have a hard time. I gotta accumulate how I gotta accumulate and build how I gotta build. At the end of the day, and there's a lot of pocket watchers out here. Brothers feel like if they can't do it, you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, nobody should put that tag on a person because you feel like you can't complete that goal or you can't overcome that obstacle. You know what I'm saying? Brothers will do that because you can't do it. Oh, none of y'all can do it, man. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And just keep putting negativity. When you scream, you put positivity out there. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be putting positivity out there when you're watching brothers' pockets. And the thing about it is so many pocket watchers out here, my brothers, don't even folk will read your YouTube statistics, your data, or whatever they want to read, but they can't read your pockets if you don't tell them what's what in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? End of the day, shoot them a number, shoot them anything, keep them in the blind, man, because there's too many pocket watchers, they haters, instead of being content creators. Big salute, big shout to all my brothers, man. They be rocking with the Bay. They be rocking with the Bay. Let's see here, man. We talked about them Hammond's dogs. Now, let me give y'all this news clipping real quick, and then we're gonna get into this a little bit of this walk stuff and this Crossroad stuff real quick, and then we're gonna get back into some more of that news. But let me give you a little bit of this news real quick, man. We got a brother and let me see.
Arrest accused of multiple counts of animal cruelty. Tommy Douglas of Arkabutla was taken in.
That's down in Mississippi. Brother in Mississippi right there. Not a pit bull raid, but he got caught up in, doing some things with the dogs as far as animal cruelty wise. Not nothing sexually wise, just mistreating the dogs. So y'all check this out.
Into custody after a search warrant was served at his home. Police seized 33 dogs and an iguana. Douglas is also charged with simple assault on a law officer and disorderly conduct. The animals were taken to the Tate County Animal Shelter to be treated for various health issues.
Yes, sir, man. Salute to the whole state of Georgia, man. Salute to the whole state of Georgia. I got much family down there. A lot of love down in Georgia, man, from ATL, Stone Mountain, all across Georgia, man. Salute to the whole GA. Let's see, 200 East in the house, Trevor Trevor, big Trevor in the house. What's going on? What's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? Let me get a little bit of, let me get into a little bit of that Crossroad and old Big John stuff. You know, because I've been hearing a lot of rumors, brothers say the new stuff ain't like the old stuff and this and that. But let me ask you, before we even get deep into that, and I'm gonna say this again, I'm probably gonna say it more than 2 times, you know. Brothers say the Big John stuff ain't like it used to be. But you must don't follow my page. Because I'm up here every day telling you none of them dogs like they used to be. You know, if you ask me, and we're gonna get into that, was they like they used to be or not with the Big John stuff or and the Crossroad stuff. But I mean, like at the end of the day, the average brother that was bulldogging in the 90s will tell you that the caliber of dog that he was getting, no matter it was Eli, the Eli caliber of dog was better, the Jeep caliber of dogs was better, the Redboy caliber of dogs was better, the Bolio caliber of dogs was better. They was just better back then. And this is because they was coming and closer to the dogs. It's not nothing that y'all doing wrong. It's just as many years keep going by, we're getting further and further from these dogs. You know, as far as the traits that we was looking for from them dogs, the Bolio traits, the Jeep traits, the Eli traits, the whatever. You know, we're getting further and further from the dogs. So when a brother's still looking for the traits, that'll make a brother say, oh, the dogs ain't like it used to be. Because I know if I go get a Redboy dog, he'll stay down for 3 hours. Now, you know, it's a hit and miss. A brother, it's just we getting so far from the traits of the original dogs. And a lot of the original brothers be judging the dogs, you know. But like I said, which one of the dogs are still consistently exactly the way they was back in the 90s? The Mayday dogs. You know, so we got to look at it from a board and just don't try to pick on a certain group. Because I'm going to say it like this here. My young brothers in the house, they know about who Birdman is. And my older brothers definitely know who Birdman is, baby. You know what I'm saying? Baby told you the best, man. You're going to have to put some respect on that thing, man. You got to put some respect on that thing when you're talking about that Big John stuff. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. A lot of brothers don't like it. They ain't going to like it. Hey, and I'm going to tell you like this here, man. That stuff ain't never been perfect. The stuff never been perfect. You know, when I give you my story about Bo, that was back in the days. Hey, I went to that ass. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this real. I went to that ass with the creator. You know what I'm saying? But if I count the times that I went to the actual Big John dogs with other brothers that was here and there and there, man, I ran through plenty of that Big John stuff. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of it. That stuff was never perfect. Now, you know, because I'm going to get into the Crossroad beat, the Big John stuff. We're going to get into all that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into that because I'm going to say it like this real while I'm talking about it. Crossroad never beat a Big John dog. You know, Crossroad never beat one. You can go look for whatever magazine you want to look for, sport dog journal you want to look for. You'll never find it. Now, I will tell you this. Sambo is the only Crossroad dog that ever beat them boys. Sambo the only Crossroad dog that ever beat them. And if another brother could come up here and tell that old Crossroad story when you had a Crossroad dog that beat the Big John dog bloodline with the creator of the bloodline, not somebody else who had the dog, you know, but with the folk, you know, then give your story. Now, when it comes to, I always say these dogs, they change over time when it comes to the breeding, the way we breeding these dogs. Now, if you know the Big John dogs, you know that they heavy. And some of the realest yellow dogs left. Now, it's pros and cons to that bragging I'm doing. Now, the pros is, it's the truth. These dogs carry the traits of Jocko today. Still carry the traits from Chavis Jocko. Ask them about Chavis Jocko, they tell, oh, our dog like to shoot in the rear end. Still carrying the traits from the Chavis Jocko stuff. You know? But at the same time, you know, the inbreeding and all that stuff, it takes toll on the dogs. You know, you start to see the dogs, they get smaller. Their bone structure gets smaller. And not saying about this particular line, but I know from the time that I bought one in 95 off of Champion Red John and CP, you know, that's the one I told y'all brothers that died in a hurricane. We had a hurricane and I believe a tree didn't fall on the dog, but I don't know if it had a heart attack or what, but the dog died as a puppy. Red John and CP. All right, and that was about 95, somewhere in that area. You know, it just, and like I tell you, only thing that I noticed that changed myself personally is I noticed that the brindle dogs don't come from the Big John stuff no more. That it did in the late 90s. The brindle red-nosed dogs was coming off that stuff. And that's just because it was way closer, you know, to the sources. You don't get the brindle dogs the way you used to. But you still get the brown, the black, the brown, the black mass, the buckskin black mass, the cream, and the orange color, which is coming from your yellow giant, Chavis yellow giant, which is coming from your Burns stuff, you know, and your Chavis Jocko dogs, and your Grand Champion yellow dog. You know, so as far as change, I don't really see the dogs changing as far as temperament. When brothers say the old and the new, nah, this is the difference, my brother. Back then, we got dogs and we did what we did with them dogs, right? In the modern day time, brothers went and got a lot of them Big John dogs and gassed up off the pedigrees. You thinking because you got that pedigree, you automatically got a Lamborghini. Like when I say, oh, Lamborghini is automatically going to be a grand champion. You know, because you got that ped, you thinking you are automatic winner. It don't go like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a winner yourself at heart before you even strap up with that dog back then. You know, before you even do it. I done did this. I done went out there, took a brother dog that he want me to work. I done worked this dog, made him a one-time winner, gave him back to him, let him work the dog, and I bust the dog ass. You know, with a Crazy Eyes and Shakur dog. See, it's all about who got the dog sometimes. Everybody don't know what they're doing with certain things. You know, this one dog was a beast when I had him, and he stopped the Redboy Jocko dog in short fashion when I worked him and handled him. And you know, and then I gave the folk back their dog, and then I went into that same dog at like 47. It's just who got it. And like I say, back then we knew you was getting a good bulldog, but you still went out there and seen what it did. Now brothers relying more on that ped instead of, what type of dog you got. Is this dog even energetic? Is this dog lazy? What he doing? Can't he even pull any weights or anything? Or you just going by that ped? And then you get brothers who buy the dogs from brothers and sell them off to people, and people get that confused, like, oh, we beat Big John this and we beat Big John, and you beat somebody who had a Big John dog, and everybody don't breed the same. Some folks just breed with the pedigrees, not breeding two good dogs together. And back to that Crossroad stuff, Crossroad never beat the Big John stuff. Crossroad lost 2 times in one night against the Big John stuff because he thought, oh, something was wrong. He couldn't have lost that fast. Something was wrong. He couldn't have lost that fast. Put him back in the square again. He did the same damn thing again. Crossroads Troop lost to Big John. And you should have read about that if you're reading them books y'all reading. Crossroads Troop lost to Big John. After he lost to Big John, Crossroads Troop been in the projects in Conway, South Carolina. Because Crossroads gave him away to my partner. And my partner decided to walk him. He was walking through the projects. He done lost or whatever, this and that. That was Crossroads Troop, big black dog. I ain't sure what bloodline he had, you know. But I will say this when I'm speaking about Crossroad. If Crossroad wouldn't have got out the game when he got out the game, he would have been the #1 breeder, in my opinion, in the world. The #1 breeder position when David Tant went to jail. Okay. The thing about Garner, you know, he got the good dogs, but the thing about Crossroad was he was just coming from New York City. So he was getting the dogs from Mr. T up there or whatever. And then when we came down here, he really didn't know the yellow vibe yet. You know, he really didn't know the yellow vibe. And see, Ed was flashy. He was the type person, he had dogs from all the sources. When I say Crenshaw, he had the dogs from Crenshaw. He had relationships with whoever was selling dogs, the Midnight Cowboy stuff, he had relations with them brothers. Anybody who had dogs that got names that we talk about today that was out back then, he had the relationships with them. Him and Victor was partners, homeboys. They went to the class together to learn how to do the artificial insemination, you know. And then, you know, I stayed right around the corner from, you know, Crossroad. You know, and so at the end of the day, it's like his way of thinking with the dogs was a little bit different than the Big John stuff. Them boys focused more on the yellow stuff, making one family of dogs off the yellow stuff, when it kind of took Crossroad a longer period of time. He was starting to get the picture. You know, because he was starting to go back into more of that yellow stuff. And see, brothers who know the Crossroad stuff, if you really know it, you know the person who really had the yellow dogs that dealt with Crossroad was Mike Caton. Mike, Crossroad partner, was the one who really was dealing with the yellow stuff. He had toe jam. It might say Tant's toe jam, but it wasn't Tant's toe jam. It was Caton's toe jam, you know. And he the one that really had the yellow top and the yellow bottom dogs. When he give him the egg, Eric could breed them like Jeep, the yellow stuff, the Redboy, the yellow stuff, or whatever. He put his crosses and stuff with it, you know, for the most part. And then you look at the dogs that he had. When I look back, and I'll tell y'all brothers about the Mayday dogs that I had from Crossroad. I look back at the stud dog that he had. His name was Pee-wee, Crossroads Pee-wee. Now, I never really paid attention to Pee-wee's pedigree like this, but Pee-wee was a lower percentage Redboy Jocko dog with 75% bolio. He was Mayday on top, back to the Hollingsworth stuff on the bottom, which was more bolio stuff. So he was a 75% basically bolio dog with 25% Redboy Jocko, the dog that I'm speaking of that we was getting dogs off of. You know, so I really never knew that a bolio percentage was that high off the dog, you know. But maybe that's why I was kind of complaining about the dogs that we was getting off of them, because I always say they weren't really nothing. Maybe it was the wrong bolio crossing with them dogs, you know. And the stuff that he was breeding. One thing I know about the yellow dogs too, a lot of them dogs, if you went too much of that yellow stuff, they really wasn't the dogs that you really wanted either. You know, they was kind of subpar. And I done seen dogs directly off Big John that wouldn't even start up. You know, wouldn't even start up off Big John and Miss Kitty. We had dogs off that litter. My man P had, matter of fact, they was off the same litter. He had one that was a great dog. His name was Johnny Red. And then we had the little mate brother that never started up. He looked at like Yellow John. If you remember how Yellow John looked at that was off of Big John and I forgot who. Yeah, the Yellow John could have been off Miss Kitty too, you know. But he looked like Yellow John. But he we know he wouldn't do nothing at all. And this is directly off Big John. You know, and the Crossroad, you really can't compare them boys, because Crossroad, like I said, they have rumors, you have your rumors across the Facebook or whatever, but Crossroad never beat them boys. The only Crossroad dog, and I'm telling you, is because I know this, only Crossroad dog that ever beat them boys is Sambo. And that don't mean the only person that ever beat them boys. The only Crossroad dog that came from Crossroad himself is Bo. So that kind of put it, make it easy for you. And then you go in the books, you see Troop, and I told you about how he lost 2 times. Like, Crossroad was just getting it together. He had the money, he had the style, he had the swag. He was just getting it together and starting to understand how to put them dogs together the way they needed to be. That's why Fatty lost to Barracuda the way he lost to him. Crossroad was that he was gonna be that MFer. You know what I'm saying? Because he had that drive, he had that dog man mentality. He was a good person, but he just came from New York City and he didn't know what was jumping off around here at the time. And they got the yellow stuff off of, some say that yellow was dead, and David Tant did a little flam on Toe Jam, and Toe Jam really ain't off yellow, But I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm gonna leave it like this. Toe Jam throw dogs that look more like yellow than a lot of dogs that I heard was off yellow. A lot of dogs that I heard was off yellow that, brothers got proof of. Toe Jam dogs off yellow. Toe Jam dogs look more like yellow than a lot of them did. But I don't know because I wasn't around back then. But Toe Jam was born in 94. Yellow died in 92. At least that's what they say. Toe Jam was born in 94. Yellow died in 92. But, Crossroad was just getting it together, man. And like I said, if he would have still been in the game and nothing would have happened, I could say I think he would have been the #1 breeder because he was dealing with a lot of lines. He was making them crosses. And when I look at a lot of his great dogs, I see it wasn't really the yellow dogs. It was a dog, and even a lot of other brothers who had these dogs. It was the dogs that had a little bit of yellow in it, maybe a quarter of yellow. And then they had that other stuff, that punch, that power, It wasn't the dogs that was all, you had your all yellow exceptions, your dogs that was grand champions and champions and stuff that was top and bottom, yellow daughters, bred back to yellow and stuff like that. You had your exceptions, but I noticed when you just got a little bit of that yellow, maybe a quarter of it, then you got maybe 50%, 75 or 50% Jeep or something, and then you got a little splash of something else. Sometimes that thing kick right, man. And that's kind of what he was more in the experimenting phase. And then with the Big John stuff, the brothers knew what they had. They just went with the breeding stage. Oh, we gonna breed and we gonna get this and we gonna get that. We gonna breed these good ones with these good ones and them good ones, And I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Before Crossroad got out of the game, I went to him with Sambo. I said, man, listen here, man. This boy got one named Split Ears. He kicked Sambo ass. He tried to act like he didn't know what was going on. See, I'm not gonna get into this conversation right here, but it has some other stuff going on, street stuff going on, and I didn't pay attention to it. He wasn't focused on what I was saying. I should have paid attention then. When I was telling him, Sambo, man, he couldn't handle the dog Split Ears. He was acting like he ain't knew nothing about Split Ears or whatever, this and that. But I know for a fact he knew who he was. It's just when you got something else on your mind, you don't be paying attention to everything. But Crossroad could never get no grip on that stuff, man. He was a great conditioner. I hear a lot of people saying he was one of the best conditioners they seen. But it's just whatever kind of dogs that you got, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I done bought Midnight Cowboy dogs from him. I done bought Jeep dogs from him. I done bought all style of dogs from Crossroad. So I knew he wouldn't have had just one line of dogs. He would have had a little outs and different things. And how y'all brothers like all that flashy stuff. He had the vets and all that stuff. That's why I say he would have been the #1 breeder because he was great with talking to people, linking up with all the old schoolers and all that. Because like I say, back then, I didn't know half who the old schoolers who he actually had connects with. You know what I'm saying? I know him now, and I know how close we was to certain things. Like when he went and did Barracuda, brothers had to watch the yard. And when he went and he lost against the dog 600, and then he gave my partner that dog, Champion Crunch, which was Fatty Little Mate brother. He gave my partner that dog, but he died on the way home. But when you're young, and especially like probably in his 30s, early 30s, then and we was teenagers. You know what I'm saying? So back then you really didn't know the significance of where you was at and what you was doing. But it all played. It's all good because we got story time right about now. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. But the boys kind of was on two different levels. Now I will say this. I think that was the biggest mistake ever made to this South Carolina Redboy Jocko stuff. That them boys didn't take a direct dog off a Big Giant, squash their differences, and take them to a direct daughter off a Toe Jam. You know, squash their difference. Don't let these brothers who doing the breedings do it 10, 15 years later. They should have did that right then in the late 90s. You know, should have bred Big John daughter back to Toe Jam son, or either Sambo daddy, Fatty, Champion Fatty, bred one of Big John daughters back to her, or bred one of Fatty Toe Jam daughters back to Big John. You would have had Redboy Jocko dogs that wouldn't have been stopped. You would have squashed all your beef. You know what I'm saying? Because you would have realized you found a gold mine. You know what I'm saying? But because you got pride, both sides, Crossroad got their pride, Big John and the boys got their pride. You want to run your family of dogs, he want to figure out his way. You know what I'm saying? And you want to, and you know, you brothers compete against each other, with each other and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, them was two different dogs that I know for a fact. Them dogs would have ever been crossed by the breeders themselves when the dogs were still living. Big John was living, and Toe Jam and all them was living. Man, you'd have seen some Redboy Jocko dogs that wouldn't have been able to stop. Boy, that Toe Jam dogs is making lay down dogs. They come 30 minutes, they lay down, they jump up. 45 minutes, they jump up. Hour and 15 minutes, they jump back up. You know, when they jump up, when they figure out when your dog is finished, they go in for the finish. But you'd mix that stuff with that Big John stuff from back then, you'd have had some shit, you know. And that just goes to same thing that happened these days, you know, brothers with a lot of pride and stuff, and you know, don't breed with each other and different things, and be having great dogs, and the dogs will make the excellent dogs, but you know, you just got so much pride, so you know, you never make them crosses. Never. And the thing about it, I can't say about, like, say why Jocko never bred with I'm just gonna make an example, a Bolio daughter. Maybe because the time periods was different, but these time periods was the same. You know, Toe Jam was around when Big John was around. Them brothers could have made them breeders. You know, could have made them. But hey, it just is what it is, man. I don't think the Big John stuff changed over the years. I think the dog man changed. What you looking for in the dogs changed. You know, brothers came up in the mid 2000s and early 2000s, and a lot of brothers, you know, from modern day time, you thinking because you get this, like I said, you got an automatic win. And you know, it don't work like that. And a lot of brothers didn't know or don't know about some of them Redboy Jocko dogs. They're slow maturing dogs. You might be 2 years old before they even act the way you want them to act on certain levels back then. So if you're not willing to wait, when you taking this dog out, messing with him at 5 months and you curry him out, or 10 months and you curry him out, you don't know that would have been the best dog you ever seen, but you just didn't have enough time to wait on him. And that's the thing about a lot of them Redboy Jocko dogs. You know, you had to wait on them sometimes. That's why brother may prefer a Eli dog or this kind of dog or that kind, because they growling and doing all kind of fancy stuff for you at a young age. You know, but I did tell y'all that story about them Redboy Jocko dogs we had back in the days, you know, coming down off that Cottonham Sheba stuff. Two dogs right there, boy. I ain't never seen no puppies like that to this damn day. I don't know what kind of blood it was. I ain't seen nothing like that to this day. If you let a grown dog, if they see any animal, and you let them loose from across the street, they're gonna go over there and hit them. You know, of course they ain't gonna make bite if the dog grab them. If it's a full grown dog and my dog 5 months and he full grown and he grab my dog, he not gonna be able to make a bite because your dog gonna hold him down. But I promise you, I'll put the yard on it. You let him go and your dog ain't started up yet, he locked on. I ain't got to do all that sick him and all that, none of that shit. Let him go, he hitting anything moving. Male, female, anything. And I ain't seen no puppies like that since then. I'm talking about across the street. We ain't got them faced off from between my legs and, oh, you 10 feet apart or nothing like that. I'm talking about across the street. Once he zoom in on them, I just let them go. 6 months old, 5 months, and make sure no cars coming. and he gonna run straight across the street, boy, full throttle. You talking about a good looking stretch there, boy? You see one running about 30 miles per hour and run smack into him, bam. You know, but back to that Crossroad and that Big John stuff, man. Uh, like I said, you really can't compare them. Both brothers, both kennels. You know, I think you could talk good about when it comes to their dogs, when it comes to their keeps, the dogs that they was breeding. Crossroad never had great grandsons of his dogs and stuff like that. He never did that much breeding with Fatty to where he bred Fatty back to his daughter and then took a daughter of that and bred it back to Fatty again. You know, he wasn't locked in on the yellow stuff yet. I know that for a fact because he was still buying them brown midnight cowboy dogs, and he was getting the dogs from the low country spur stuff off the um the Laurelly stuff and the low country spur stuff. He was getting all that stuff. And that Jeep stuff was phenomenal back then, man. And that wasn't coming off no white tab. The white tab stuff that Crossroad had sucked. Like I remember the lock and load dog. We had plenty of dogs off the Crossroad lock and load stuff. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of dogs off of that stuff. And let me see who else. Like I told y'all what already about when we was over at Crossroad House already. I think I told y'all, I ain't sure, but we was over there and the landlord caught us up over there in the box. We was over there in the box, and the landlord rolled up on him with four-wheeler, him and his wife. And his wife flipped out back there. Everybody picked the dogs up and started running. This was the good old days back in the 90s. For anybody that's listening, we do not condone anything like that. Modern day time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, pick the dogs up, start running. I want to say it was a dog off of some Beach Boy Billy stuff. And I don't want to call the other wrong dog out. But it was two pretty good dogs, and they had just got started pretty good, you know. But I will say I had the only dog, if you know Crossroad, and he had the champion Crunch dog. I had the only puppy that Crunch ever had. I called her Mecca at the time. She ended up being a short dog. She wasn't really nothing. She probably would end up being a brood bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I had the only dog off champion Crunch. And like I told you before, we had champion Fatty, little mate, tool champion Fatty, little mate sisters. You know, and they just wasn't on the same level when it come to dog men yet. I think the Big John brothers was a little more advanced. Or at least it's like this right here. Okay, I got my hand. You got a little 38 over there. You know what I'm saying? Old school 38 at that. You know what I'm saying? Old school rusty 38. We're gonna do the same thing. But I got my hand on the Uzi over here with the switch on the back first. You know, you seen the Uzi and you got it over there, but you just didn't, load up with it. I loaded up with the Uzi first. You know, so that's all I think it is. Them boys just got the ammunition first, and they ran with it and they pushed their own line. You know, if Crossroad would have straight made, what they did is the same thing as Crossroad taking Fatty, and he's taking the dog he had, Pee Wee, and he running his whole yard off of Fatty and Pee Wee. Daughters, sisters, cousins, uncles, nephews, everything coming off Fatty and Pee Wee. Or some may know lock and load more. Fatty and lock and load. You know, or say if they ran everything off Toe Jam and Fatty. That'll be equivalent to what them boys did. They ran the whole yard off 2 or 3 dogs. Up until we talking right now, 2 or 3 dogs. We don't got 10 stud dogs in the backgrounds of them boys' dogs. And it just, like I said, I can't take that from neither one. The kennels. Both of them did their thing in their times. I learned a lot from, both group of folk, when it comes to taking care of them dogs and stuff like that. I seen a whole lot more bloodlines dealing with Crossroad, because them boys only running the Big John stuff. Crossroad was running everything. So I seen a whole lot of other lines dealing with the Crossroad stuff. Let me drop that link down in the chat too, man, if anybody want to get up in here and I'm gonna try to hold it down as long as I can. They're starting to crank up. But yeah, I don't think the old and the new walk stuff is that much a difference. You know, if you know what you're looking for, you know what you were looking for. To me, over the years, I seen some sterile dogs come off that stuff from breeding all that line breed stuff. A lot of sterile dogs was coming to where the male dogs weren't having puppies. You know, I seen the dogs' bone size get smaller. The dogs from the late 90s, all the big giant stuff was a bigger structured dog than the dogs is now. You know, that just come from inbreeding because when you gain, you know, and you keep your line running, but you lose at the same time. You know, I don't really see no lack of gameness coming from the dogs compared to back then. Um, you know, far as the dogs activity level, I don't see no lack of activity compared to the dogs now compared to the ones back then. You know, they still energetic dogs. Brothers just say that because, like I said, it's just a different wave of brothers that got these dogs these days. Brothers who don't know about the dogs, brothers who heard about the dogs for many, many, many years, and you know, it get the dogs thinking you got Superman, and it don't work that way. You know, it didn't work that way back then when the shits was out and it was all living. It damn sure ain't gonna work that way now. You know, and that's what a lot of the modern generation is looking for when they get them dogs. You know, at least. And then I heard one brother say on Facebook, I gotta address this for them dogs start cranking up real quick. I gotta speed this thing up a little bit. One brother said something about the Cottonham line is the best working dog line of working dogs right now. I dispute that, my brother. You know, and that's your opinion, you know what I'm saying? And I know them some great dogs, but the only person I really see with the Cottonham dogs is that dog coming down off Garner stuff. You know, everybody else that got the Cottonham stuff, your stuff is so far back. Only way you can have Cottonham dogs still in it if you've been doing line breeding and inbreeding. And the only person I see with the Cottonham dogs, in order to have Cottonham dogs still in your dog, your pedigree got to look like that Big John stuff. And you know how the Big John stuff look with walk, 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 walk. It got to look like that and got to say Cottonham all through your pedigree, you know. And the only person I really see with them dogs like that now is Garner with the Red Man stuff. And I mean, with me, you know, great dogs. Garner got phenomenal dogs. I just don't, you know, I mean, every man to himself on that, man. Every man for himself on that. You know, I just ain't big on buying a Redboy dog straight off from him. And he was the Eli man, you know. He was the Eli man. But it is what it is, man. Brothers have different lines on the yard. And it just is what it is. I can't say nothing. I can't say he ain't off of him because he got the paperwork for him. But I don't know if it's ADBA registered paperwork or what. But he do got it. So, you know, it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. I just had to address that statement the brother made about the Cottonham dogs being the top working line dogs right now in America. You know, you better off saying some of that, you know, you better off saying the ship stuff or anything that this brothers know about more modern day dogs than the Cottonham stuff, because you just got to show me the Cottonham strain of dogs that brothers is selling that's still Cottonham. You know, they don't gotta say Cottonham, but every single dog on that pedigree from top to bottom gotta be coming from the Cottonham stuff all the way back, and all of your pedigrees gotta lead back to the Cottonham stuff. Not one Cottonham dog in your pedigree. You know, I can't think of what pedigree I seen the other day. The brother called the pedigree out and called the dog name out. I'm just gonna give an example. This ain't what the dog he said. Say the Jeep dog. Now, when I looked at the pedigree, I seen the dog that he called out one time in the 4th generation. You know, and that's not that dog. You know, that's not a Jeep dog if he only one time in the 4th generation. Now, Brother Socrates say, I have a Cottonham dog of Garner. It lacks wind, not a working line dog, in my opinion. You know? Hey, and then we just have to we got to get, just like the Brother Socrates got up here and gave his opinion about his, we got to have a lot of more brothers to give their opinions about the dogs that they bought off the Red Man dog. And then we start knowing, oh, is these dogs smarter? Is these dogs working dogs? Should I get these dogs to try to compete in the shows with these brothers and stuff like that? You'll know, because these brothers will be giving their opinion out, you know. I haven't really heard too much stuff about the Red Man stuff. Besides, he's a Red Man, a Redboy dog. I mean, have you ever heard anything about the Cottonhams taking their dogs and beating the Big John stuff? To my brothers, now I've heard about the boys taking the Big John stuff and beating the Cottonhams with it. But have you heard about the Cottonhams beating them with it? You know, I'm asking these questions not knowing the Cottonhams might be ran through it, you know. I'm just asking, you know. Kurt Hunter, what's going on? What's going on? Boss Man Jones in the building. King Long Swipe, I see you, fam. Salute to you. Boss Man Jones say Garner's Redboy has Frisco on the bottom. Now, hey, Boss Man Jones and the brothers down in the chat, let me ask y'all this though. Garner don't got nothing besides, he don't got nothing that's Red Man top and bottom, that's pure. I mean, at least 75%, at least 80-some% Redboy, supposedly, with the Frisco stuff in it. Or he's all 50-50. Because he might be just ran with the 50-50 cross from there. That's how a lot of brothers do it. Run with that 50-50 and work down from that. But like I told y'all, I had a dog off that Red Man stuff from Garner. I didn't even realize it until, you know, after the dog's done dead and gone. When we start talking about him, I went and look at the pedigree. I said, man, this coming off of that Red Man dog, Red Man and Bobby Peru. And I'm gonna tell y'all like this, y'all always say Garner get the dogs mixed up and confused. That's a big possibility, man. That's a big possibility. I'm gonna tell you why. We got 2 dogs from Garner that day. One off Bobby Peru, and the other one was off Dynamite. All right. One dog was a red nose, and the other dog was brown nose with a black mask. Okay. The Dynamite dog was red nose, and the Bobby Peru dog was brown with a black mask. Now, if he did get them mixed up, then the Red Man dog should have been the red nose. I mean, I don't know, he probably wasn't a red nose, but he do got it in his genes. More than the other dogs that we seen on the you know, on the Dynamo. Remember, I did the show on it. I did the whole show on it, talking about the pedigree that we had. I asked y'all brothers, show me where a red nose come in at on the pedigree that I was showing you. It ain't had no Red Man on the pedigree. No Red Man at all. It was coming off the Dynamo stuff, and damn, I forgot. I forgot what it was under, I forgot his damn name. That's why I don't want to pull it up right now, because I've been looking for it for too long. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. But I did a video on it. I said, where does red nose come from out of this dog in this pedigree? I said it was the Dynamite. Remember, I said something about the Dynamite scandal, the Garner Dynamite stuff. And it could have been just a simple mishap that he grabbed one dog saying it was off this and grabbed the other one saying it's off that. You know, because our pedigree didn't have nowhere where a red dog was in it. Red nose dog at that, orange colored dog, you know. But if it's the real Cottonham stuff that he got, man, I mean, you can't do nothing but, I guess, have some great dogs. You know what I'm saying? Little Rock, what's going on with you? Big salute to brother Little Rock in the building. Yes, sir. Big salute, big salute. Well, like I say about the Cottonham stuff, because we ain't here to talk about that really, but brother just said it was some of the best working dogs. You know what I'm saying? And we could debate about that on another episode. We could debate about that on another one. But when it comes to the Crossroad stuff and the Big John stuff, I just think they develop their systems 2 different ways, and you really can't compare them like that. but you can because they done went against each other and had one man end up on the losing side and the other man end up on the victorious side. But I know Crossroad, even though I was new in the game, he was a tad bit older than me. He wasn't no seasoned, no veteran or none of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even though he went in the Barracuda and all that, he had dogs and he had them for years, but he wasn't on that. I just don't think he was on that level yet, All right, give me a second, my brothers. Let me handle this puppet real quick. Give me a quick second. All right, I'm back, man. I'm back. But yeah, Crossroad and them boys kind of went on different paths, man. And I think they both had great dogs. Anybody who got something down from either line right now, if it's the real stuff, I think you got great dogs. If you got something coming down off the toe jam stuff or the fatty stuff, which will probably be more easy for you to find right now, I think you'll have pretty great dog if it's the real deal. When it comes to Garner stuff, I think his stuff straight as well. His stuff straight. Brothers, I hear a lot of people talking down on the Big John stuff, and they saying, "Oh, about the champions and brothers don't got champions and this and that." Well, some brothers just didn't, went out there into the magazines like that. Some brothers went on Facebook talking about certain things like that. So you're not gonna know every single thing. You're not gonna know every single thing, and that's why I always say that stuff is like the Redboy stuff. That stuff like the Redboy stuff, the modern day. Okay, we ain't gonna say Redboy. We're gonna say Redboy had that game, that passed that game dog trait down into your dog. He had that title back then. The #1 dog that was about doing that. He wasn't, I ain't talking about rum dog like Jeep. I'm just talking when it come to passing that trait down, Redboy was that dog. That Big John stuff got that title now. All you need is a quarter of it. All you need is a quarter of it. It's the natural window. It's the natural windows. And like I said, one thing I found out about them dogs, man, if you breed it, I'm not talking about the Redboy, Jocko, Big John. I'm talking directly off the yellow stuff. When you bred too much of it, yellow, sometimes it didn't turn out the way you wanted. We had human aggressive ones off them dogs. We had one that was off of Tant's Red Bud, which we got from Mike. It was off Tant's Red Bud and Yellow Sun. Yellow Sun bred back to Red Bud. All right. This dog, that's the dog I told y'all that jumped up and grabbed a beer can out my folk hand on the scratch. Came across on the scratch, and my folk was drinking a beer, and he grabbed the beer can out of his hand. It was a girl dog. So I don't know how brothers would have scored that if it was a legitimate, tie down. Would you say he was fouled out, or did the show keep going? Just put the dog back in the square. He didn't jump the box, but he did jump the box. He jumped out the box to grab the beer can out that dude's hand. But the Big John stuff, you can do more. You can do more. Have more. What do you call it? confidence in it. You know, you can have more confidence in it because it's one line of dogs that was, you know, finely tuned. You know, finely tuned. Crossroad never finally tuned his dogs. He was going, grabbing this, breeding that, breeding this. Some of the dogs were the shit. Some of the dogs weren't, you know. So he hadn't fine-tuned this thing yet. Another 5 years, he'd have been fine-tuned. And by the time Tank would have got in trouble, around that same time he got out of the game, Tank got in trouble. But he got out of the game before Tank got in trouble. If he would have stayed the Tank, after all that Tank situation, he would have had the best yellow dogs. He would have had some of the best Jeep dogs. I'm telling you, man, he had different bloodlines. And he was the type of person like a lot of y'all brothers were like. The type of person that a lot of y'all brothers are like. Go talk to this dog man. Talk to that great dog man. Talk to that great dog man who got dogs. You know, talk to that great dog man who got dogs. Now, Boss Man Jones say he never heard about Yellow's abilities. Some, you know, you hear different stories from different brothers. I'm talking about brothers who was there. Some brothers say he barely put enough energy to do enough energy just to get by, you know. But another brother say, how can you just put enough energy to get by on a grand champion? And see, brothers who don't know them styles, I'm explaining to you that style. When you thinking it's putting just enough energy to get by, what this is a dog that's smart, that's letting your dog do what all that other stuff you thinking is gonna work. And once that's done, he go in for the finish, you know, and then you thinking, oh, he's just doing enough to get by. No, he's not doing enough to get by. He's smart enough to go through all that hard mouth and all that stuff you thinking or whatever. And then he do what he got to do. But you know, you never hear nothing about Yellow being a leg dog or a shoulder dog, or you know, you hear he go in the back end. I heard he went in the back end, but you know, for the most part, you always hear he just hung in there to get the show over. But I mean, he's a 5-time winner in the Wild Wild West days. So in the Wild Wild West days, 5-time winner with them folk all them folk in that circle that they were dealing with, you know, he had to be a pretty decent dog. You know, and his breeding ability, if you ask me, you know, you got to put Yellow and Redboy neck to neck. When you're talking about who make the best dogs directly off the dogs, coming directly off of them, I might have to go with Yellow. You know, I might have to go with Yellow over Redboy. Because them dogs that came directly off Yellow, boy, was something else. When Yellow came on the scene, he changed the dog game. You know, that's why brothers will say, oh, Redboy Jocko crosses was made. Redboy Jocko crosses could have been made before Yellow was even born. But they wasn't clinching the Redboy Jocko name until Yellow hit the scene and made it solidified. You know, these dogs right here, this is the Redboy Jocko dogs. Grand Champion Yellow, that Redboy Jocko stuff. And when he produced them dogs, his dogs, man, hey, his dogs, I ain't gonna lie to you, boy, his dogs was something else now. Dogs off Yellow was something else. And I'm quite sure the ones off Redboy was too. You know, I had a few off Big John, but I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. I love my Big John dogs, but them dogs directly off Big John, it wasn't like the dogs directly off Toe Jam. You know, the dogs that come directly off Toe Jam, which is Champion Fatty's daddy, which is Sambo's granddaddy. The dogs that was coming off Toe Jam was better dogs than the dogs that was coming off of Big John that I seen, you know. Superline, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, like I said earlier, man. To all my brothers rocking with that Big John stuff, I got some of that stuff in your line on your yard, man. Tell them boys, man, they gotta put some respect on that thing when they speak about that stuff, man. That Redboy Jocko stuff, that stood the test of time. And it's the real Redboy Jocko stuff that you know coming off the Yellow stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't like I said before, they didn't go out to this stud or that stud or this stud or that stud. This stud, now they ran down from their studs. You know, ran down from their studs. Oh, I had to mute up real quick, King Long Swipe. I had to take them puppies out real quick. They were making a little too much noise. So I had to mute up real quick, handle that. Yes, sir, man. I dropped that link for anybody that want to come in. Like I said, I'll drop it again. Yeah, them dogs, all Crazy Eyes, was some phenomenal dogs. And back then, you know, I don't even see this. A lot of them, that stuff was coming with the ears sticking up back then. You know, like off of Crazy Eyes, I know we had a few dogs off Crazy Eyes with his ears just sticking up. Standing straight up like bad ears. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat. You know, got the whole North Florida in the chat. Oh, yeah, man. That Jeep, Boss Man Jones said, do I like the Jeep Redboy dogs? I think them were some of the best dogs back in the days, you know, the Jeep Redboy stuff. Because I be praising the yellow stuff, but when I look at Sambo pedigree, he got a little bit of Redboy Jocko in him. And when I say Redboy Jocko in him, I'm speaking on that as in the yellow stuff. A little bit of Redboy Jocko and a lot of Jeep with a lot of Redboy in them. And a little bit of the Redboy Jocko, a little bit of the yellow wise. Just back then, I think that Jeep and that Redboy made a hell of a damn cross. Now, the Niggerino stuff, I haven't had a lot of the Niggerino stuff, but Crossroad had the Niggerino stuff. And I remember he having the stuff, you know, and the Niggerino dogs, great dogs, man. Great dogs. I don't never like to really talk down on a dog that I haven't had. Like to actually say, oh, I got the papers to look at them, seeing it's coming directly back to the Niggerino stuff. John Demery, what's going on? So I don't like to talk bad about certain lines like that. I had dealings with Niggerino stuff, but not enough to talk trash about them. You know, far as I know, they would make great dogs. I seen some brothers that's pumping the Niggerino stuff out there now that got some good looking dogs. You know, so can't really say nothing too bad about that. Now, I didn't like the split ears dog back in the days. Puppies that we had off split ears, I didn't like them back in the days. You know, I didn't like them, but some of them was fire. Some of them was fire. I gotta take another quick break, real quick. 20 seconds, my brothers and sisters. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all hit that subscribe button. If you're not, give me 20 seconds. I'm being right back. I'm back. Lucky Leo, what's going on? Yes, sir. Hit me up on the message on the Facebook or the Instagram or something, which, you know, so we can politic over the phone. Socrates said something about the schoolboy. Richard Garcia, schoolboy Jeep, Redboy, good dog. Oh yeah, I heard good things about schoolboy stuff. I mean, what's the name of the dog? The red dog. I'm not sure if that's the same dog you're talking about, but I never tried none of his actual dogs or anything else he had coming off of any of his other dogs. Big shout out, big salute to Kevin Blake in the building. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, just been busy trying to take care of these dogs, man. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be back dropping. You know how I do it. dropping 2 or 3 times a day in a minute. You know, I just had to, you know, be busy taking care of these dogs and taking care of the things I need to take care of outside of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So don't think I'm slagging enough or none of that. You know, I'm gonna keep giving it to you. Fair and unbiased, raw and uncut, man. Raw and uncut. You know, trying to work on my cousin. I work on all that, man. You know, keep giving y'all brothers that good dog news. And to y'all boys, like I said, I ain't trying to argue with you, none of that type of stuff, man. You know, we can talk pedigrees or we can talk dogs. Eli Monster, what's going on? What's going on? Let me see what else I got right here, man. Like I was telling the brothers, that old school walk stuff wasn't unstoppable. A lot of brothers act like it was unstoppable. You know, it wasn't getting beat back then. Now, I seen another brother ask this question in the Facebook too. Can brothers buy their way into the dog game? Can you buy your way into the dog game? My opinion, no. My opinion, yes. No and yes. You know, you can buy as many dogs as you want to buy. When you call that buying your way into the dog game, yes, you can buy your way into the dog game. But knowledge, you can't buy it. Knowledge, you got to experience certain things. And that's something money can't buy. You know? So it's like, yeah, and that's what a lot of people that try to buy their way into the dog game, that's where they get it twisted at, because they thinking, oh, we got big bread. And like I said before, it don't transfer to the dogs. That brother who you consider, who you think, oh, he ain't got no money, he ain't got nothing, but he got the baddest damn dog around, and you ain't got a damn dollar that can go find a dog. No matter how much you got, you ain't got enough money that can go find a dog that can beat him. You know, because for one, he got a good dog and he got more experience than you. You know, he done been in the dog game whatever years he been in, and then you try to jump in because you $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 man. You know what I'm saying? $1 million man. You know, you thinking, oh, you can just jump in and run shit. And it don't work like that. That's why they ain't legalized it yet, because you know the best dogs might not, you know, however they played it on TV or make their little circus or whatever, the best dogs still be in the hood somewhere. You know, you can't control it. You can't control who got the best dog. Same way, you know, hey, it just is what it is, man. Can't buy experience. You can't buy your way in the dog game, but you can buy a whole boatload of dogs. And you can feel you the biggest dog man in the world. Go out there and buy you 200 dogs in one day. You know, you're going to feel like you the man. And you supposed to be the man in your head. Everybody's supposed to feel like that. But just drop you off in the Wild Wild West days because you got that boatload of money. You just somebody that a brother want to meet. Oh, he got all that money. I'm about to take that shit, you know? And it's just simple as that. Oh yeah, losing that money, winning that money over a period of time, you gaining knowledge. You gaining knowledge. You know, you stuff that folk can't buy that we talking about. You're gonna lose some money now. You're gonna lose some. You're gonna buy dogs. You're gonna lose some in your tests and all that back then. But you're gonna lose some and you're gonna get some. But a lot of the brothers, they say you got a brother who never really got no winning records. He got more losses than he got wins, but that brother got experience. And if you go jump on him because you think you got a lot of money and you go try to jump on him, you know, you might get your neck broke. You know, you might get your neck broke. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I had I ain't gonna be here too long, like I told brothers and sisters. Y'all hit that like button up, you know what I'm saying? Y'all hit that like button up. But I got one brother asked, he said, what kind of feed do you use during your keep? You know, What kind of feed do you use during your keep? I seen them ask that on Facebook, so I'm gonna address that, my brother. And I'm just gonna say it like this, man. I'm just gonna say it like this. You know, it ain't no blueprint to this thing, man. You gotta look at your dog, right? This is the first question you gotta ask yourself. You can't read no keep that you're reading on these and go by that 100%. One of them old school keeps. Reason why you can't read it, because, okay, now if I tell you right now, you want to switch to a high grade dog food, okay? A lot of brothers already feeding their dogs the kind of dog food that I'm talking about. So now that's a whole different. How can you go higher from what they already got? You know, you might be feeding the top of the line already. So now you're reading this keep, it's telling you to get some high grade dog food, but you already got high grade. The dog food himself, if you're reading the old school keep and you're reading the feed part of the old school keep, you know, you don't even worry about that part, man, because the food is different these days. You know, you got stuff in some of these foods that brothers had to give these dogs shots to have in their body during the show. I ain't talking about like no drugs and nothing. I'm just talking about like different vitamins and things. Some of this food is coming with this stuff in it now. First thing you want to do is make sure you know your dog back then. Now, every dog gonna be different. You better off trying to copy the style of a Hussein Bolt, what he did to get in shape, what next brother did to get in shape. You better off copying the things that they did than trying to worry about that keep and follow it like that. Treat your dog like an athlete, and in your head, all you saying is, I'm gonna get this dog in shape. I'm trying to get him in the best shape. I want him lean. I want him fit, you know, slender. I want his ribs barely showing. I want his backbones barely. Some people say they like they hip bones barely showing in the back, and that's at show weight. You know, not everyday carry weight, but show weight back then. But you know, just keep some muscle on that back end part back there. Hey, this is what it is, man. Is what it is. You gotta feed them different, man. Every dog gonna be different. Your dog system gonna be different than the next dog. Some dogs can't take puppy child type. They throw it up. Some dogs can't take corn in the dog food. You know, they throw that up. It just every dog gonna be different, man. And you just gotta really know what you want in your head. You want your dog to be long-winded. So if you know you want him long-winded, you gotta do long-winded exercises in order to get him to keep building up in long-winded exercises by the day. Every day you getting longer and longer. Every other day you getting longer and longer. You gotta feed him correctly. You want to feed him like an athlete. What kind of athlete you trying to feed him? Like a football player, like a basketball player, no, you trying to feed him like a track star. Or maybe a boxer. You know? It's not like you trying to say, oh, I'm gonna feed him like Serena with, no, I'm gonna feed him like Tiger. No, not any athlete. You got common sense. You use your athletes like I said, your runners, your boxers, the folk who not trying to have no body, no muscle, all that muscle and stuff. It don't mean anything. Now, when we go back to boxing, Mike Tyson probably was your most built boxer to come through. You know, since George Foreman and them boys from their era. You know, they had a few big guys during that era, but you know, you don't really see boxers really built. So you know what you're working for. You're working for leanness with your dog. You're working for long wind. It's not, you know, you put your own exercises together. You put your own feed program together. You know, you do your research. It ain't nothing like reading. You're doing your research, trial and error. You know, if it worked for humans, sometimes that little thing, it is correct. If it worked for humans, it'll work for dogs. Not with everything, but some things, you know. Just understand what you want your dog to do and understand how to get your dog to do it. You know, as far as exercise wise, got to be creative. Like I always say, you got to do what the next man ain't gonna do. You know, some brothers just throw them on the mill. Well, be the brother that throw them on the mill, do this and do that. You know. And it just always end up better for the man who put in that extra effort sometimes. you might not have the best dog, but then your effort was better than the other man's effort because he came in with a big head already, thinking he was gonna out hunt you because you was a smaller person. But your heart and intensity you put into your workouts when you work, you know, it showed off when you stepped in that square because the big man toppled, you know, crumbled. And I just think, especially with nowadays time, man, with all this modern day stuff and all this new technology and new stuff they put in these foods and stuff, it's hard for any brother to just straight up tell you, oh, feed your dog this and feed your dog that. I mean, chicken good for your dog. Chicken gonna have your dog looking good, but I also heard chicken overheat your dog. You know, I've heard that. I don't know how true it is. Heard chicken overheat your dog. All fish diet. Some brothers ask about that. All fish diet. I'm quite sure if you're gonna have your dog in some real serious working, he gonna need more than fish. You know, he gonna need some meat other than fish. My guess. You know, I'm not a scientist or a doctor or none of that, but my guess is he gonna need some type of chicken or some type of other meat other than that fish to get into something real serious, you know. Yeah, man. Now purebred say use duck. I heard a lot of brothers talking good about duck. You know, it just can you get it or not? Duck and tripe. Yeah, I heard brothers talking good about the tripe too. You know, and like I said, man, be creative with your keep. If you know this gives you this gives you that. It's like you going to the gym, and if you working out and you trying to get muscles, you gonna take whatever you got to take and do whatever you got to do to get your your physique the way you need to get it. And that's just the same way, man. You know, you trying to get this dog a certain way in 8 weeks. You know, like to put certain things on it back then because I might be done went and spent $500 just on my stuff for my keep. You know, and it might not for you, it might not take you no more than $50, $75 or something. But for me, you know, it might take me 500 because I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to buy this, and it might not work, but it ain't gonna hurt them either. You know, you always got to keep your greens, no matter what. You can't forget your greens. Your greens gonna give you what it need to give you when you lacking on, you know, you cutting back all that because you're not gonna feed them as much hard dog food, right? They say I'm feeding them a high grade of dog food, but I cut it down to a small amount. Now, being that you cut that food down to a small amount, now you got your greens. You know, an egg is always, I always have an egg in there. My greens, my egg, and then you can add other little stuff, but you got to do research like the brother said in the chat just a few minutes ago. You know, brothers want to do things. Brothers want me to tell you. Okay, good statement, my brother. You know, because a brother will listen to what I'm saying right now and go run your keep off of it. Now, do your research, man. Listen to what I say and just write them keywords down and go Google that shit yourself. Even though Google don't tell everything right, but it's a a more clear answer, to the thing. But yeah, man, them greens, you gotta have them greens. Gotta have them greens. And at the end of the day, you wanna see that line, a high definition line down the side of your dog rib cage when you done. How you achieve it, different brothers achieve it different ways, but you want a line down your side of your dog ribs. And yeah, man, anybody who just coming in, we was talking about the Big John and the Crossroad stuff. And like I said, the Crossroad stuff really can't compare it to it because of longevity. The amount of years that the Big John stuff has produced great dogs compared to the Crossroad stuff and the Toe Jam stuff. It just can't really compare it. To the brothers who had the rumors that said the Crossroad stuff was beating the Big John stuff, I can Clear that up. It never beat the Big John stuff with the Big John brothers. I don't know if it beat the Big John stuff with another brother, but it didn't beat the Big John stuff, you know, when it counted. That's why I talk so much trash. That's why I talk with pride about my little match with Johnny One Nut. That's why I do it. Because I know it's a lot of brothers who was out there heavy in the game. The Cottonhams, this one, that one, the Crossroad. They couldn't stop that Big John stuff. I ain't gonna say I can stop it, but I stopped that one that day. You're gonna learn that day, you know, and it was all, if I wouldn't have had the opportunity, I wouldn't have had a chance to learn. You know, I learned and saw where I was green at, where I ran my damn mouth too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all brothers before, my dog is a neck dog. He gonna do this, he gonna do that, he gonna do this. Running my dang mouth, you know, when I'm dealing with vets, you know what I'm saying, veterans. Sit there and let me talk like an asshole, you know? But then from that point, I learned, and I come back a year later with the knowledge that I brought in that year's time. Shut the hell up and just listen sometime, and you'll learn more. You know, and in a year's time, I shut up, I listened, and I came back, boy. You know, when you're working your keep and this revenge time, you know how you coming. You know how you coming. Now that bitch that Vernon Starr said the bitch CP was a killer. Now I always heard good stuff about the CP, you know. And like I'll tell y'all, brothers, when I got the dog off Champion Red John and CP, he was gonna be a hellified dog. Red John was off the first group of Big John dogs. He would have been a hellified dog. He would have been a big one because he was probably about 4 or 5 months old, and he was already, you could tell he was gonna be a big high 50s, low 60-pound dog. You know, at least in the high 50s. He was an orange color, red nose. Now, if you ask me, a lot of that burn stuff coming back out of them Big John dogs over the years, since a lot of that inbreeding been going on, you know, and different, you know, breeding certain ways. A lot of that burn stuff coming up. And like I said, them Jocko traits is still in there heavy. Still in them dogs heavy. The gut dogs, you know, gut busters. Still in there heavy. You can rely on it. You can rely on it back then. You can rely on it now. With the Crossroad dogs, it was hit and miss. Even if I got a dog off of, like say I had Sambo, he was off Fatty and Sadie. All right, but then I get another dog off Fatty and another female dog. It wouldn't be at the same caliber of dog. You couldn't really have confidence in the dogs that you was getting from Crossroad because he was doing so many different kind of breedings. You know, he might have a Midnight Cowboy cross with the yellow stuff, the Jeep cross with the yellow, the Eli cross with the yellow, and then we right there dealing with him every day. You know, not no damn just coming to visit you once a month. We dealing with you every day, and got dope money. So if money ain't no problem, you know what I'm saying? Money ain't no problem. And this is before the damn hot dogs came into play. You know what I'm saying? This is before hot dogs came into play, so we were still getting dogs for $250 then. So shit, you know, he just had a different quality, man. I just think if he would have stayed in the game for about another 5 years and kept breeding that toe jam stuff about another 5 years, he would have locked it down, you know. And with his swag and the way he used to move, you know, he'd have locked it down, man. You know, he would. I could just see all y'all vibing with him. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the kind of person you couldn't chill with or nothing like that. You know, we gonna smoke, we gonna burn. You know what I'm saying? And talk about these dogs and shit. Like I said, but when we come to the dogs, he didn't focus on the prize. And the Big John boys, they focused on the prize. And you know, they focused on that yellow stuff and the Chavis Jocko stuff. Because if you look at the Big John stuff, they got a lot more of that Chavis stuff in it than a lot, you know, some of them other dogs. Now, Vernon Starr said Crossroad was afraid to go into the best. Now, I'm going to tell you like this now. I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't know everything about Crossroad, but I know him pretty damn good. You know, I know him pretty damn good. I'm gonna say this. I don't think he was scared of going to nobody. We had our ups, we had our downs. And I'm talking about real downs. Real downs. But dog man to dog man, you know, I don't think he was scared of going to nobody. That was his attitude, you know what I'm saying? If you knew Eric. Oh yeah, Vernon. Hey, one letter switch a whole sentence up. Shit, you know the Barracuda show. I never heard this until modern day times from an old schooler. I never heard this from Crossroad. You know, he never told us this, but I heard this from an old schooler that said he matched a dog at Mr. Crenshaw's yard before he even went into Barracuda, the day before or something like that, or earlier that day. And the man told him, don't put the dog on Barracuda. You know, that was the type of attitude he had. That's why I knew when I was telling him about split is, and I was like, Sambo, man, this and that split is, and he didn't give me that fire back. I should have paid attention and knew something was wrong then. You know, because he the type of person, he'd be like, we'd have went to the crib and figured out a plan to take split ears out. You know, if he would have had to give me something else, that he would have thought like, oh, take this, you know, take this right here and see what was going to do. I'm gonna work him, man. You just come, you know, we would have figured something out. But he wasn't talking nothing like that, so I should have paid attention. You know. But yeah, man, Crossroad was good. He was a good fella when it comes to them dogs, man. Any brother who had an opportunity to meet him, you know, I haven't heard anything bad about him, except for the one bad thing that, you know, that I can say. But I'm not here to talk about that right now. You know what I'm saying? Not here to talk about it. But dog man wise, good brother. He showed me some things, showed us how to, you know, showed us some good bloodlines. At the time when we were dealing with Crossroad, that's why I say we didn't know how close we was to the sources of all these dogs. We didn't understand how Crossroad was leaving. When he leave and talk to us, he go over and holler at Mr. Crenshaw. Because if we would have knew that and we would have knew how strong Mr. Crenshaw was in the game, we could have easily rolled over there with him. And I have stories. Oh, PBK was over there talking to Mr. Crenshaw about this and about that. Like, it was just that close. And it was just that it could have happened just that easy. It was just the fact that brothers weren't as knowledgeable about certain bloodlines as Eric was back then. You know? And like I said, he was in his 30s and we was in our late teens, early 20s. You know? I mean, hey, it is what it is. Socrates said them Cottonham dogs were good local dogs, but not good fast lane dogs. And you know, Socrates, they say that about the Big John stuff sometimes. They say them good local dogs, but not good for the fast lane. Now, all I can say is, man, when it comes to them dogs, they carrying them traits of them old school Redboy dogs. You know, they carrying them traits as far as gameness. If you got an Eli dog that he not game and you breed him with a Big John dog, them puppies gonna be gamer than the damn daddy or the mama, whichever one that went game. That's a promise. You know, you can't guarantee nothing with these dogs, but I can guarantee he'll be gamer than he was when you breed to that Big John stuff because it's carrying them game traits. Now, what I will say, we will open the panel for any brother that got them Big John dogs and can tell their stories about how they went from easy 2-hour dogs to struggling to make 30 minutes. You know, now they're struggling to make 30 minutes and stuff like that. You know, I had dogs directly off Cyclone that wouldn't even bite a lamb lick. My homeboy had a dog coming directly off Cyclone and Raggedy Ann. Cyclone and Raggedy Ann. The dog ran back to the car. You know, we had 3 off that litter. 2 of them was fire. 1 of them ran back to the car. And I'm talking about grown, not no puppy. Now, it's something when you lose, but you can imagine the embarrassment. And we had a small group of folk around the box. But if it was this modern day stuff where you got 100 people around the box, Well, you can imagine how embarrassed you're gonna be when that dog break camp. I'm talking about you can't catch him. He running full throttle all the way back to the car, and he make it, and he wait for you to get there. You know how embarrassed you will be, man. But them dogs straight off Cyclone. Split ear dogs, like I tell y'all, brother. I didn't like the split ears puppies back then, you know, because we had bought a few split ears dogs that was light switches. We'll see them, we'd do something on the yard, and then we'd take them somewhere and they wouldn't do shit. You know, they was just like that. So when you start getting 1 or 2 dogs like that, you kind of stay away from them dogs. So I stayed away from the split ear dogs and stayed more towards the crazy eyes, the Little John stuff. The Little John dogs, some of the best energetic dogs. You think that Frisco stuff and them Chinaman dogs energetic? You get them dogs off that Little John stuff bred with the right female, you know. And I can't sit here and lie to you like I can tell you what the right female will be. I'll just scream out CP though. I'll just scream out CP. But Little John had made energetic dogs that I seen, real active dogs. You know, me myself, I'd rather have the Little John dogs than the Big John dogs. I think the way them boys did their breedings, they pretty much did them 50-50 all the way up until they stopped breeding. You know, they always try to cross it 50-50, 50-50. Big John, Little John, or whatever. But I like the Little John offspring myself, which would be more Chavis, coming off the Chavis stuff, than the Big John. And like I said, the Crossroad stuff, man, you really can't compare it. The longevity that the Big John stuff had compared to the Crossroad stuff is incomparable. You can't compare it, man. It's like a lot of that Redboy Jocko stuff can't compare to it when you talk about preserving a particular strain of dogs. You know, preserving a line of dogs that came from the 80s. Yellow was born in the 80s. And Jocko and all them dogs was from the 80s. So we still speaking on it. And like I said, if any brother gonna say, oh, I got a Eli dog, I got a Boudreaux this or Boudreaux that or Crenshaw this, it needs to be line bred. You can't say you got this dog coming from way in the 70s and it's 2024 and these dogs coming from the 70s, late 80s. You can't say your dog is this kind of dog from back then if he's not line bred from back then. In order to keep them genes going, you would have had to line breed the dog. If you were to keep scatter breeding, every time you bred a yellow one time, and then every time you bred back from him, you went scatter breeding, you wouldn't be preserving the blood of the dog. So you would have had to do line breeding. So when brothers start screaming about, oh, I got this kind of dog, a carver dog, bro, not saying you don't got a carver dog, you know, but if you got a carver dog, it needs to have carver in it from the top to the bottom. Not 100%, maybe, not 100%, but it needs to have from the top to the bottom. You know, pretty much when I look at this dog, I'm gonna say, oh, this is a carver dog. From the top to the bottom. Not just 1, 2, maybe 3 dogs say carver. Burning Star say, I had a male off Toe Jam sister Lola D. The bitch was a mean, just like her brother. Yeah, we had some bitches off. We had some off of Toe Jam and Lola. We had some off Toe Jam and Lola too. And Toe Jam and what the hell was that dog that ain't gonna name? Toe Jam and it came from Mike too as well. Damn, what that dog name? I'll think of it in a minute. She wanted the yellow dogs that they bred from the tent stuff. But yeah, man, if you're gonna say you got that stuff from 1970 and 1980, and you look in your pedigree and it ain't line bred, you don't got that stuff from 1970. You know, the boys who say they got Redboy dogs and they pure Redboy dogs, if you look in their pedigree and all the dogs in that pedigree not going back to Redboy except a few, because you know a few of them got to come out somewhere or another, you know, because it got a female in there. But that female could be coming off Redboy, you know what I'm saying? And then that no, so it got to be predominantly coming from the dog that you said it is. You can't have Redboy in there 3 times and say there's a Redboy dog. You can say Redboy Rascal or whatever like that in that order or whatever, because there's multiple things in there. you know, but you can't say it's a Redboy dog. Yeah, I gave him all cut hell because Buck was, you know, the situation with Buck or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, he got good dogs. You know, the stuff that I say about Sanchez, I meant about that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as his dogs in general and the dogs that he got, they good dogs. And they carry the traits of, I'm going to say it like this right here, right? I don't know about the traits as far as acting wise. They carry the structure traits from the Mayday dogs. You know, his dogs do carry that look from the Mayday dog, you know, the structure wise. I don't know about acting wise. I had a few of them. The ones that I had and the ones that I dealt with, they act great. They was coming down off the hog stuff, you know, and still got them. They know they act pretty good. I just know he got too many lines for me to say, put him in that conversation with the brothers who, you know, see, now Mark Hunt will be competing against, you know, he collect dogs like how Crossroad did it. See, he got all them different bloodlines over there, Mark Hunt do. That's how Crossroad did it. He had these lines coming off this one coming off this one coming off this one. But he didn't have them long enough yet. He had just got the yellow. Fatty then was born in 96 when Mayday made Dog of the Year. Fatty then was born in 96. Ed got out the game within 10 years of that. You know, he was done out the game by then. By 2006, he was out the game. You know, so that kind of tells you, you know, where his breeding was at. You know, but if he would have had a chance to let that thing marinate, and the brother who Mike Caden, who Eric was getting the dogs from, you know, Mike stayed around here too. They were just a hop and a skip away from each other. He had died when Eric got out the game. When Eric got out the game, the brother Mike had a heart attack. I'm not sure what happened to the dogs that he had, you know, but he had a heart attack, and you know that was the end of that saga, or whatever. Now, was Yellow John a human aggressive dog? I'm talking about the Yellow John, Mr. Chavis Yellow John. Was he a human aggressive dog, Bernie? You know, I give him all cut hell 24/7. I'm gonna give him a little props tonight. You know, I'm gonna say this about his dogs. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this about him. He got any bloodline you want. You know, he got any bloodline you want. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't seen a dog man yet that got any bloodline you want besides that brother. You know, and then the dogs look good. I'm not gonna lie now. When he show you something, you know, when he show you something, it look good. I'm talking about looking at the dog picture. You know, the dog look good. I just talk my little dog talk shit because I'm from where brothers take one or two dogs and focus on a family of dogs. You know what I'm saying? So when you got brothers who got 100 families of dogs, you know, it ain't no modern day times we talking about getting to the bread, so that's gonna get to the bread. You know, but when it comes to me asking you what these dogs doing and what these dogs capable of, you can't tell me that because you got your eyes on too much stuff right now. You know, you trying to watch over 100 different families of dogs, so you can't tell me specifically like this brother who got one family over here. You know, and it don't mean that you got worse dogs or better dogs. It just means you can't give me the information I need on that particular line or strain of dogs. You know, to give you another example, it'd be just like if the brother Mark Hunt focused on the hog stuff and just bred the hog and maybe Alpo, right? Say hog and Alpo and bred everything down off hog and Alpo, hog bred back to his daughter, hog bred to his granddaughter, him bred back to his niece, his son bred back to the mama. I'm talking about just off them two dogs is equivalent of what them boys did with that Big John stuff in 30-year, 40-year time. Never breed back out to another stud off your yard, you know. As far as you go back, I don't care how far you go back. As far as you go back on that Big John stuff, you can go back to Mr. Burns and them. You're not going to see no more studs on them boys' dogs if you're not talking about Mr. Burns, Mr. Chavis, or somebody like that. You know, Yeah, they studied their dogs off. They used their females to get studs and all that stuff back then, but that was the start of the creation of the Big John creation. And the brothers who say and speak about Big John, they say he finished dogs in a shorter fashion than what Mayday did. Say he made lungs explode. By the time Scatterbread, Kennels, what's going on? What's going on? By the time I say with a dog with the yellow eyes, I ain't sure which ones them is, by the time. Only ones I know got the yellow eyes is them red dogs, them dark red, them old school family red type dogs. They got them yellow color, them fiery golden color eyes. That's why I was telling my man King Longswipe a little while ago, you know, if he was trying to change the colors up on them dog eyes, you know, to go to them old family red dogs. Cause sometimes they have them bright yellow color eyes and them golden color eyes, and they may even have green eyes. I don't know. You know, maybe even have them, but I know when it come to eye color, no pit bull got eye color like them old family red dogs. They might be a dark color dog with a yellow color eyes, yellowish color eyes. We got Joseph in the building. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate them questions. Joseph want to ask me about the mall cunt dogs, man. Appreciate the question, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it just is what it is, man. And at the end of the day, you know, I hear a lot of brothers, brothers talk good about the Michael Myers stuff, and the brothers who got the dogs off them dogs and different things. I just give old boy hell because what I always tell y'all brothers, we just dog talk. At the end of the day, but see, what a lot of brothers don't got is they got too much pride to even get up here and talk about me the way I'm talking about them right now. You know what I'm saying? I know brothers don't know about the dog, but that don't take nothing from the dog. You know what I'm saying? That don't say, oh, the dog want nothing. Now, one thing I do know, just because you can roll a dog 100 times and he can win all 100 of them matches, or he can win close to it, but he don't produce worth a dang, and he don't make no good puppies. And I always say the most greatest valuable asset a dog can have is his ability to produce great dogs. Yeah, he a one-timer. You see, one of the brothers just posted Schoolboy Big Red Dog up there. One time winner, one time loss. Okay, we keep that record. That record will go down. That'll be our record forever in history. One time win, one time loss. Or we could have not even rolled them. If we wouldn't have rolled them at all, we would have still got the same puppies. But, we talking about the days that thing was going down in. So it was no way that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man. Let me see what Brother Joseph say. Have you heard of Rodney Allen Bulldog born in TK, Mexico? He got a lot of bloodlines like that. He know for a champion Simba from Tom Garner yard. Now, I haven't heard of that brother, man. Any of y'all brothers heard of Rodney Allen? I haven't heard of him. But I'll tell you what, Joseph, I got a question. This is a question I always ask brothers. Why the hell we only got, if Mexico so lawless, Mexico do more rolling than we do, why the hell we ain't got no Mexican yellow dogs? Why we only got Mexican Eli? Why we ain't got no Mexican Jeep? Why we ain't got no Mexican Bolio? Why we ain't got no Mexican, all the other stuff? We only got Mexican Eli. Why it don't even got to be called Mexican yellow. Why we just didn't have no Mexican brothers who finesse that yellow stuff outside of Chico, take Chico away, that finesse the yellow stuff over there. You know what I'm saying? That's selling it back and brothers know about them. Why we don't got brothers that finesse the Jeep stuff? The way the brothers finesse the Mexican Eli dogs. It's crazy when brothers say these places are so lawless, but yet America still produce the best bulldog at the end of the day. That's why I always say the laws is crazy. And these brothers, I ain't gonna lie to you, they risking their lives. They going to jail for them year, 2 years. Them boys want to roll. You know what I'm saying? Them boys want to roll. No matter what I get up here and say, stop rolling this and that, them boys gonna roll. And at the end of the day, man, I still feel like the best bulldogs. You know, I'm my brothers in Europe, they got great bulldogs. But I'm just a believer of we don't know what rules y'all going by. We don't know. We know that we go by the Cajun rules, and we went by pick up this scratch to win or whatever. Some brothers went by scratch to win. Sometimes I did stuff where the dog who didn't scratch is automatically over. It's your scratch. You don't scratch. Pick my dog up. I'm gone. I'll holler at you later. I did it both ways. Would have never had a problem with scratch to a dead one because Bo was going. I trained Bo with scratching on a dead one. When one of my own ones that he finished off, I let him scratch probably at least 50 times till him after he had done DOA him. Let him scratch them, take him off, let him scratch them, take him off, let him scratch them, take him off until I got tired. A brother Sherwood boss man say they ran the pure Zebo top on bottom Baton Rouge years ago, 2000. Now, I bet you them Zebo dogs you would have got back then was a different kind of Zebo dog than you're going to get right now. And that's the same thing I say about the Big John dogs. It ain't that they dogs change. All the dogs change, man. And then the brothers that's getting the dogs change. The laws and all that change. All that stuff make a change in what we see in these dogs today. Brothers can't check them the way they used to can check them. Brothers don't check them the way they used to can check them. And, you just get certain things. Some brothers ruin good dogs. You got these modern day dog brothers who don't know how to sit on a dog for 2 years, or 3 years or whatever. They just got to ruin one. He might ruin them in 4 or 5 months. It's just different things, man. Different things that play a part. I just know United States don't get enough credit. We always try to run it and see. And that's why I made that video a while back, bros. I told my brother, salute to my brother, Bear 187 over there, Bella UK, all my folk over there on the other side, all my folk. And this is specifically for my European brothers. We got to keep that Pitbull shit. You know why? This us, man. Because y'all got that dang on working dog. Y'all got the Malinois and all that. You know what I'm saying? And y'all doing y'all thing with that. And brothers rather have a Malinois that come from Holland or Dutch, some of them Dutch countries over there, than have one that come from America. When it comes to these pit bulls, brothers over there probably rather have a pit bull that come from over here. Because this is where, even though we didn't create the actually first pit bulls, we created that game. That game that they came to love to play. We created that. And hey, this is what it is, man. I think the U.S. making some great dogs. I just think we got, a lot of laws. You really can't check certain things. One thing about it, overseas, and I done heard them brothers from overseas is doing this. With the working dogs, they say they're losing. They say the working dog that don't make the cut. Just take them to the United States and sell them over there. Take them to the U.S. and sell them over there because he ain't made the cut over here. He can't be a KNPB dog. He can't make the military or the police department. So sell them over there to America. So you don't think they'll do the pits like that? They know us Americans. We going crazy over them dogs from Europe right now. One of my brothers, I got this dog from Europe, Pitbull. So why not sell them the dogs that lose? You believe these brothers over here lie to you. You don't think them brothers over there gonna lie to you if you're not buying a puppy from them brother. If you're buying a grown dog, you don't think them brothers gonna lie to you? Shit. Especially if I know y'all trying to grab it like, y'all think all us brothers over here got good dogs? Every time I pull up the news, I'm telling y'all about a dog fighting bust over there in Europe. Them brothers' laws just as strict as our laws is. And stricter in some places because they got total bans. We got some total bans in some cities, but our country is bigger than a lot of them places. Spike Brothers Kennels in the house. Salute to you, fam. Big shout out to you. Thanks for dropping in tonight, man. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button up before y'all get up out of here and drop down in them comments, whether it's the chat or in the regular comments. Big salute to you, man. like I told brothers, man, I'm gonna be back on the roll in a few minutes. I'm just busy with these dogs in my personal life, man, right now. So I gotta, handle a few things, but I ain't gonna slack up on you. I'm gonna keep giving you that dog news and that dog talk, unapologetic. Unapologetic. Just is what it is, man. Is what it is. I just sit back and watch over the past. I want to say a big salute out to my brothers that be supporting me in the chat, that be support me, that don't be in the chat. Because a lot of these brothers, man, it's this fame and this YouTube stuff. A lot of brothers try to gain it's phony sometimes, man. Dealing with a lot of these brothers, man, they want something. See, I'm glad I had big money and all that shit all my damn life, man. I was 17 years old driving a Benz with Lorenzo rims on that motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I was exposed to money at a young age, man. A lot of fame at a young age. When I say fame, you don't know me, but I'm talking about being around people that, you consider famous. And to me, they regular, or I'm seeing them every day like a regular person, because we chilling with these folk in the hood, and different things like that, man. It's like brothers do things, man, and I'm the type of brother, I read brothers. I pay attention I pay attention more than what brothers think I pay attention to. I pay attention to stuff like a sniper, man. You know what I'm saying? You might not think I'm paying attention, but I'm watching. I watch small things when it comes to brothers who claim they deal with me, or brothers who claim they rock with me in my face and smile in my face. But really, I could pay attention and I look how you move. You don't rock with me. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. This YouTube thing wicked. It's a wicked game out here. King Lone Swipe in the chat talking about he found one puppy with a green and a blue eye. Hey, it shows that joke when he get big. I know he gonna look crazy, Lone Swipe. I know he gonna look crazy. Cujo style. Inglewood Kennels in the house. What's going on with your big homie? What's going on with your Inglewood? We'll just talk about that Big John stuff, man, that Crossroad stuff. Crossroad, great breeder. A lot of Jeep, a lot of Redboy, Jocko, Jeep, plus other lines. The Big John stuff was predominantly Redboy, Jocko, and they stayed on that track. Stayed on it. Now, I will say this, with my own personal experience, I never had a chance to train any Crossroad dogs. I trained the Big John dogs, super smart dogs. They dogs smart. That's why I always ask brothers, okay, you may not be in training, right? But the same way they used to say, oh, these Bolio dogs smart. Now, if I want to figure out which line of dogs is really the smartest right now, I could do it a few ways. But if I get one puppy from each one of these lines, one puppy, and then I train them, and then say we do the same thing over a 10-year period of time or a 5-year period of time, we just keep training a puppy off of each line. And then we start training some older dogs off each one of these lines and see how fast they pick up, see how fast they catch on, see how easy and quick it is to train them. Now you see which dogs got the more intelligence, which dogs catch on the fastest. You know what I'm saying? And the same way a dog can learn how to sit, stay, drop, do this, do that, do this. You don't think that dog gonna know how to comprehend when it comes to saving himself, when it comes to taking himself out of danger, when it comes to putting himself where he need to be at in the right position, in the right hole that he need to get to, and knowing how much energy to put out right now. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's what another thing with a pit bull don't get the credit for. It's one of the few animals that know, just let this joker go. Just let this joker here use all his energy up. I got something for his ass in 30 minutes. Let this joker go. He can bite me. He can do this. He can do that. Just let me hang in there. As long as I'm hanging in there, that's his ass in a minute. Now he ready to pick up and pipe out. I'm grabbing him by the back of his tail, pulling him back, jerking him back. It can be a wolf or a coyote or something. Now I'm pulling them back, jerking them back because they ain't think I was going to stay in there that long. Pitbull is one of the few dogs that in his mind, he can finish you off, but he's willing to stay in there. It's like a process. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole process. The only blue-eyed pit bulls I had, salute to the brothers with the blue-eyed dogs. I had that one I told y'all brothers about Hog Catcher. He had a white and a black eye. He was like two-tone eye. He looked crazy, white and a black one. and I had the red-nosed pit that ran away on the day I wrote my first book. You know, everybody deal with pain different. I had a pit that when you see me in the car with, when I got my shirt off and I got the red and white red nose in the car with the white head, that was the dog that ran away. When I went to work and I came home, my neighbor told her, "Oh, I seen her out on the chain running down the street." I said, "Why you didn't grab the dog?" But anyway, everybody deal with pain differently. That dog hurt me. She ran away. I went and started writing me a book. And from there, I wrote multiple books. That same exact day when I found out that dog ran away, I went home and I got me some L's, rolled me some L's up, you know what I'm saying? And I sat in that car and I said, I'm gonna start me a book, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and from there, I went and dropped another one, you know, and that was all off of one pit bull running away. If that pit bull would have never ran away, I would probably never even wrote a book. Nope. By that pit bull running away. And the book wasn't even nothing about the pit bull. It started off, the first sentence said something like, I'm just getting home from work and I found out my pit bull ran away. Other than that, you know, it didn't have anything to do with that pit bull. You know, the book did. But it's just funny how one thing can trigger off another one, though. You know, one thing can trigger off another one. I always heard, man, them white eyes and different things in the dogs, them shits look spectacular. But I always heard about them in the pit bulls. Sometimes they mean health problems. You know, not all the time, I guess, but I heard that white skin, like white skin dogs with blue eyes can mean health problems. Now, we all know that white dogs don't mean health problems, but I just heard the white-eyed dogs can mean your dog may have health problems in the future, or he's more prone to health problems where your other dogs might not be. And that could be just a rumor. Who knows? You know, who knows? Now, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never seen a one with a white eye. Hey, Vernon, I ain't never seen a dog with a white eye that was a champion or a grand champion. Now, it could be wrong, and I know I'm wrong. Matter of fact, I know I'm wrong because I know there's no way in hell through all these years that we ain't had one champion or a grand champion. That it probably ain't in no books, but we had a grand champion that had a two-tone eye, one white eye, one black eye. Yeah, that sounds like that old Kobe stuff, Vernon Starr, like you said. Breeding them old Kobe dogs back then, that's something that you probably would have got back in them Kobe days. Now, I bet you right, Vernon, because I bet you if I ask Kobe that same question, he'll say that a lot of his dogs came out like that, or sometimes his dogs came out like that. Yes, sir, man. Trevor talking about the Boils dogs. I think that's the dogs you're talking about, Trevor, the Boils dogs. They had that white eye, you know, the white eye. I'm not sure if that was due to a health problem with the dogs or what. And that's another thing. If brothers really knew that the Boils dogs had health problems with the white eye, then that would have been a trait that you don't want. So when brothers scream that out right now, oh, look at the Boils with the white eye. And that's the health problem that then trickled 30 years down the road and it still got your ass. You know, you never got the health problem out because you still trying to get dogs with the white eye. And I'm not saying that this will happen. You know, I'm just saying as a, you know, just an example. As the Boils dog, we know the Boils dog, like you say, got the white eye, like, you know, the Dirty Mary stuff and different things. Now maybe you know, them dogs had bad eyes. It's man. It's a lot of bulldogs that got a lot of stories, man, and we'll get these stories eventually one day. But there's a lot of bulldogs, man, that's not used to this YouTube stuff. I'm talking about old men who don't got dogs no more. That's not really used to the YouTube stuff and to talk about dogs like that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it'd be hard for a lot of brothers to even understand that, you know, a brother want to hear your story, man. They don't care that you didn't feel like you was big as Mr. Kobe or whatever. They just want to hear your story and what you was doing with the dogs back in the days. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what kind of bloodline you got. As the further you go back, the less a brother care about your bloodlines. If you get a brother up here that's telling you about his pit bulls from the 50s and the 40s, you don't care about his bloodline no more, really. You can care about that man's story and what he was doing, and you trying to imagine what it would have been like back then. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. My man King Long Swipe said he's trying to put the green eyes in his dog. Hey, Long Swipe, all I know is yellow and blue make green. I don't know if it'll do like that in the eyes, but if you get you some yellow eyes and you get you some green eyes, you get you some blue eyes, then you might get you some green eyes. It look a little bit like the daddy, a little bit like the mama. Eyes like the daddy, eyes like the mama, and now you look green because it look like both of them. So that might be a good option to try. The blue-eyed dog mixed with the the yellow-eyed dog, which is the old family reds. Get you an old family red, King Long Swipe. Find you a real, do research, Long Swipe. Do research. I'll help you do it. Find you a real old family red dog and tell the brother that you're not into the pit bulls like how we into the pit bulls. You just want a dog that you could take care of and raise them up and treat them like a family member. You know, you're not into the pedigrees and all that stuff like that. But it need to be an old family red with them color eyes, or one of them chocolate red noses, with them deep yellow eyes. And like I said, there's a brother on Facebook who got them chocolate red noses. I forgot his Facebook name, but the dogs is built. You know the person I'm talking about. Every time you see the dogs, they got a big chest on them. Look good, ears clipped. Look damn good. Vernon Starr said he's seen Champion Blue. Okay. Kurt Hunter said, I had a champion named Katrina with one blue eye and one black eye. That's what's up, Kurt Hunter. Rascal, Redboy, Rascal, Niggerino. Now, what's Niggerino? Niggerino is what, Eli stuff? Coming down off the Eli stuff? If I am mistaken, I think that's an Eli dog, right? So that'll go back to the Redboy, Eli, then the Rascal stuff. Eli Jr., okay. Salute to all them brothers running that Eli stuff, man. Yes, sir, that Hempfield Wilder dogs. Them Hempfield Wilder dogs had them, they had them eyes for you, boy. They had them eyes for you. I know that one I had. She had some golden yellow eyes. She wasn't that game. But she looked good. And big salute to the brothers that's pumping the Niggerino stuff, man. Because see, we need brothers that don't let these lines go extinct, man. After a while, you be like how brothers can't find the pure bolio or the pure this. Because brothers not breeding the stuff up. You don't got a consistent group of brothers out here breeding the great stuff. I seen a few brothers on YouTube that got good looking Niggerino dogs. But brothers has got to preserve it. It's about preserving the line. But if you want the good stories to talk about as well and have, to go along with it 20 years down the line, you got to preserve the lines, the Jeep lines, the Eli lines. You got to preserve all these lines. That way a brother can get an Eli line, even though it's going to be from 100 years ago, because it's already damn 40 years for us. So by the time your sons come up and kids come up and they still talking about a damn Eli. Daddy, I got this Eli dog. He out there 30 years old talking about he got an Eli dog. If that ain't 70 years, somebody been doing some hellified line breeding, boy. But them Eli traits will still be showing up 70 years later. And that had to be a hellified dog. Man, and for us to keep breeding these dogs, worrying about these dogs, Jeep, Redboy, all these dogs, man, 40 years later, them dogs had to been hellified. There's no way we can still be talking about these dogs. Hey, them 5-way crosses burning down there in the chat talking about it might be a hellified thing. I tell you, I'll be reading them pedigrees and they be having about, like you say, about 5 ways in it. You know, it be about 5 different dogs in it. As far as the actual stud dogs, you know, the main dogs. George Smith in the building. And I did ask brothers one question about the Hammond's dogs at the beginning of the conversation, brothers. Why the Hammond's dogs so popular overseas and they're not as popular in the United States? Same way, a lot of guns popular overseas. We done moved on to something else. We got them M5s, M16s, M this, M that, when they just rolling with the AKs. You know, we move on. If it ain't what we real picky over here. You know, we're real picky. Everybody want to be the man, and brothers do not wait around. Brothers, and don't bullshit around, and they don't wait around. The Hammond stuff ain't doing what they want to be doing. You know, they're gonna move to another situation. And see, that Hammond stuff really was that alligator stuff. The alligator stuff was real big around here back in the days before the Redboy stuff came out, the rolling hard and heavy. You know, the alligator stuff was what you wanted to have in your dogs in place of the Redboy before the Redboy came out. By the time we got in the game and we start hearing about the alligator dogs, it was way after the time. You know, and then half of the alligator dogs that we was hearing about weren't alligator dogs. If there were people that had black dogs calling them alligator dogs. Now, me myself personally, I think a well-bred Hammond's dog right now, bred back to a great bred Jeep dog, a great bred Redboy dog, or a great bred Redboy Jocko dog, or Eli dog will make great dogs. That's just my opinion. If the dog is pure Hammonds on one side and pure Jeep on the other side, I think it's gonna be a good dog. You know, yeah. So I don't know, man. I know America is about that popular opinion thing when it comes to them dogs. A lot of brothers miss out on good dogs because they want the popular dog. And they miss out on good dogs. They have a good pedigree and it'd be a good looking dog, but it just don't be the quality of the dog they could have got if they went and found and put the research time in and went actually check the dog. Not check it like it's doing it illegal, but went and look at the dog, what they getting, check the product out. You know. And when it comes to that Big John and Crossroad stuff again, a lot of the newer generation really haven't even really seen a lot of the Big John stuff. Calm Snowboard in the building, hearing a lot about the termite stuff. The termite stuff, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about the termite stuff. I know a couple brothers that had champions of the termite stuff. I know a couple brothers that had it. But in my opinion, the termite stuff being kind of like when you hear brother guy had a termite dog, it didn't really strike no fear in your heart. It was kind of almost like, you know how a brother say, I got a Kobe dog right now, it ain't gonna strike no fear in your heart. It's kind of like that with a termite. But like I said, everybody termite wasn't termite. This brother got a termite dog with termite in it one time in the pedigree. You know, when this other brother over here got one that's acting totally different, that's coming directly off termite. Now Socrates say Redboy Zebo was straight curves. For any of my brothers who wasn't born when Redboy and the Zebo dogs was out back then, you know, all the older brothers. Redboy Zebo dogs was straight curves. I ain't had that cross. Patterson say the best dogs were, oh, he said my best dogs was Burn Stumpy, Champion Tuffy cross. Them Stumpy dogs was phenomenal. My dog Lil Rock is about the ones I got now is probably about mid-40s, high 40s, give or take. Just because I see my dogs every day, so I don't think they're that big. I think they like 43. I think Mellow Yellow and her maybe 43 somewhere in that area, and Fletcher probably in his between 45 and 43 somewhere in that area. That's just my guess. But when I talk to other brothers and they check them out, they be like, man, that motherfucker big. But I know for a fact they ain't in the 50s. They could be in the 45, 46. But Mellow Yellow was the smallest dog off the litter. I kept the smallest one off the litter of that particular litter. She was the smallest one. And I know that litter did produce some 50-pound dogs. But I tell you what, I sold my homeboy one off a Quick and Red Storm. I sold my homeboy one off that one, off the last litter of Quick and Red Storm. No, Buster too, boy. Y'all remember Blizzard that I had on my video? Back in then when I was showing y'all them videos, when I had little Blizzard. Blizzard is a gut buster. But, I think them Big John dogs are a tad bit smaller than they used to be. Hey Vernon, which yours off of? I think a lot of them, man, I think they pretty much, pretty much coming at that mid 40s to the low 40s. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, Vernon, your dog little mate brother. And yo, them dogs, I seen that shit for a fact. Them dogs ate one of the damn puppies when they were little. So they came up busting guts up. Them dogs probably about 2 months old. See, a lot of y'all brothers be showing them dogs on Facebook scrapping and stuff like that. But shit, what about them dogs? Y'all puppies, you gotta separate. You ain't got them puppies, you gotta separate because they eating each other. Robbo say, how was Sambo? I ain't gonna get on that too long, man. I'm just gonna say 2 or 3 words. He was the best of me. He was the best of me. We had our good days and we had our bad days. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I'll have to do a whole show on both. That triple out red, Socrates said that triple out red was the some of the bet game is Redboy line. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, Red Storm was a 30-some pound dog. Because I wasn't really used to seeing. I seen some small walk dogs back in the days that the boys had, some smaller dogs, but Red Storm was a kind of small dog. She was at least about good 30, between 37, 35 pounds. But boy, that bitch was a producer. Red Storm, I think Red Storm is the modern day for them boys. Red Storm was the modern day, one of them other older dogs like CP or something, far as they breeding wise. I think she was that bitch that produced them puppies. I think Red Storm produced better than Ronda Rousey. If you ask me, you know. I think Red Storm produced better than Ronda Rousey. And that's just my opinion. Now Trevor said he think Bingo is the best of the Redboy in his opinion. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, Trevor. Now you could be right, and I'm gonna say it like this. Reason why I say this because out of all the Redboy dogs, none of the Redboy dogs sent they own traits down. Them white and red dogs, them Redboy dogs, you always say, oh, they look like Redboy dogs. Them the Bingo traits. Them dogs come off of Bingo. They showing they looking like Bingo. All that Sammy the Arab, Boomer, and all that stuff. Them Bingo traits. The Boomer Junior dog and all them dogs, Bingo traits. You don't really got no other Redboy dog that threw dogs down that gave them same traits. None of the Redboy dogs. You got Brindle Redboy dogs, red Redboy dogs, all color Redboy dogs. But Redboy dogs is known right now today for that red and white color. That Redboy line right now is known for the red and white color. Like Redboy was red and white, and Redboy wasn't red and white. We see a dog, oh, that's a Redboy dog right there. Why? That ain't the color Redboy was. Because Bingo. Bingo. So Bingo, you right, man. Bingo running that shit, I believe, and he may not have been literally the best producer of Redboy, but to our eyes right now today, and I know Bo had that Bingo stuff in him. Bo had that Bailey's Bingo deep in him, and today's time, the Bailey's Bingo is what you're seeing when you look at these Redboy dogs. That's got that red and white color I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That pure almost got more white in it than got red. White faces and red, a little bit of red in the face and stuff. That's coming from the Bingo stuff. Yep. Hey, Vernon. Vernon says like you see them orange dogs, that walk stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Every time I see certain ones of them, I'm like, oh, that's probably a walk dog right there. You like you said, and it didn't start out as the orange dogs. They had orange dogs back then. They had orange because my dog on Red John was orange. But it's like it's almost the orange and the yellow stuff kind of really start now being the ones that's coming out the most. You don't even get a lot of like that dog Blizzard I had, he was kind of a brown dog. He was brown, but he didn't have the black mass like Big John them and Mayday them had. He was just a brown dog and had a little bit of black around the nose area, but not much. That I'm talking nothing else. Two walk dogs breeding right now together. You're gonna probably get buckskin black mass. You're gonna get the orange color. You're gonna get the blonde red nose color. And you're gonna get brown with the brown face and the black nose, and you gonna may get a brown black muzzle, but it's gonna be slim to none. And I'm talking about straight walk stuff. The same way that the walk dogs don't really throw buckskin dogs without the black mask. You don't really see the walk dogs buckskin without the black mask. But I seen them toe jam dogs like that, buckskin without the black mask, the straight buckskin. Vernon say Bud was a brindle dog. Now he probably was, Vernon, the one we had, Little Bud. He was he had some slight brindle. He was buckskin red nose, but you could see a light stripe in him. We had it in him. Van Man, what's going on with you, Van Man? Salute to you, fam. Appreciate you dropping in tonight, man. Appreciate all the dog lovers rocking with the baby tonight, man. I know I ain't been here the last couple days, but like I told y'all, I've been handling some things, taking care of these dogs, and that's a full-time job right there alone. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Y'all brothers keep taking care of them dogs out there. Keep doing the right things with these dogs. Stay safe out there with these dogs. Hey, that's all we can ask for, man. And keep preserving these things, breeding these things. And brothers better stop thinking them brothers in them shows got different dogs than y'all. You know what I'm saying? Stop thinking them brothers got different dogs than y'all. You might need some of that structure in your dog. Well, you don't need it now because you can't do the same thing. But back then, we could have used some of them good structured dogs to put some legs in our dog. Maybe with a little longer leg, your dog can go for another 45 minutes because his legs ain't squatty and short. He got good structure to him. You better stop dissing them boys, acting like they dogs ain't just as game as y'all's on. Just because they decided to go the legal way out now. You know what I'm saying? But y'all brothers stay safe out there, man. Y'all hit that like button up, take care of them dogs, keep that fresh water because it's hot. As you know what out there, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't letting up. We just getting into the peak of that thing, man. We just getting into the peak of it. Y'all brothers stay safe out there, man. And remember, where you heard it first at PBK9 is giving it to you. Raw and uncut, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, man. Some ain't. I'm out.